Hi friends, family. I've put it on Facebook that my grandmother had a stroke a couple weeks ago, and I wanted to, instead of writing about it, tell you about what actually happened. I'm at the Nassau Palm Hotel right now in the Bahamas, and it's the 21st, a little bit after midnight. And before I went to bed, I was thinking that this was an important thing that I needed to do. So basically what happened was on Easter Sunday, I got home kind of late. I got home normally at 10 o'clock. I got home probably about 10:40. And Grandma was in the house, and she was walking, and she was using a walker. She had just gotten over having shingles, and so she was pretty weak, but she was still able to get around the house, and she wasn't dealing with the chronic pain anymore. She's been on like 3 pain meds, and she was slowly going off of one of them, the last one, and that was the only one that we were really concerned about at that point, and she was getting off of that one. So she was a little bit weak, and so she was using a walker to get around the house, and she was at the refrigerator, and she was looking in it, I guess, for something to drink. And whenever I got there, I realized that she hadn't eaten a thing all day long. That afternoon, someone from Gardner Baptist Church dropped off her Meals on Wheels. Well, I guess it's not Meals on Wheels. The church doesn't like Meals on Wheels. She still had the full dinner right there in front of her. So instead of eating it, she just left it on the table. She didn't touch it at all. There wasn't even one bite eaten. So I was pretty mad. I was mad at her because she didn't eat anything. So I opened up the refrigerator and I told her that she needed to eat something, and I got out some Ensure out of the refrigerator and put it in a cup for her, and told her that she needed to drink it, and I was going to make some food for her. I was going to make some scrambled eggs, and I don't know what else I was going to make, but I had scrambled eggs on my mind. And so she started drinking it at the table, but then she started coughing, and it was kind of a funny cough. And that was really the first symptom I had that she had her stroke. It was an unusual kind of cough. I don't know how to really describe it very well, other than to say that it's not like she was choking kind of cough. Later I found out that it was probably because she wasn't swallowing properly, and it was going down into her lungs or something. But that aside, I let her cough, and I was still angry with her, and I was trying to get some stuff ready so I could cook, and told her to drink it. She wouldn't drink it, so I kept on telling her, drink it, come on Grandma, drink it. She just wouldn't pick it up. And so I went over to her and I put her left hand on the glass, which was on the table now, and I let go of it, and she let go of it too. She couldn't hold on to the glass with her left hand. She's right-handed, by the way, and she's 82 years old. So I'm like, Grandma, why aren't you holding on to this? She's like, I feel achy. And the way she said it was really slurred. It was very slurred. And whenever she said that, and I saw that she couldn't hold on to the glass, I suddenly got worried, and I said, Grandma, please hold out your hands. And she could only hold out her right arm. She couldn't lift the left arm. It was just limp. And at that point, I knew that she was having a stroke. It was probably about 10:45 at night, so it was like within 5 minutes of me getting home. So I called 911, and I told them that she was having a stroke, and they said that they'd be on their way. We live in Gardner, Montana, so in order for the ambulance to get to us, they only have to drive maybe 5 miles. And it's all volunteers, basically. Everybody that does this are mostly volunteers. And they'd have to drive her 50 miles north to Livingston in order to get her to the closest emergency room. So anyway, while they were coming, I got on the phone with Jean and told her that Grandma was having a stroke. And I was holding on to Grandma because she was starting to lean on to one side. She was sitting on the chair, and she was just kind of slumping to one side, favoring the left side. So I was holding her on the chair, and while I was on the phone with Jean, I had to put Jean down because Grandma was just crumpling. So I just laid Grandma on the floor. I moved the table out of the way and just put her on the floor, and then I got some pillows and other things, and I raised her head and raised her feet, covered her with a blanket, and then I went downstairs, after I told Jean. I hung up with her. After I hung up, I went downstairs and got Grandma's medicine out. I administered all of Grandma's medicine. The paramedics arrived finally, and while they were trying to get in, and while they were taking care of Grandma and asking her questions and trying to get things figured out, Bruce came home, and he would be Jean's husband. He was kind of confused as to what was going on, because there's an ambulance in front of the house, and all this activity, people asking questions. Having lived with Grandma for 6 years, I knew a lot of the answers to their questions, and so I was able to help them a little bit, but the biggest problem was the fact that Grandma was having a stroke, and she couldn't really respond without having a severe slur, and she couldn't do anything really on her left side. So the ambulance left with her, and then Bruce and I followed behind them in the ambulance. And that was kind of an interesting drive too, because there must have been every single animal out there, just waiting at the edge of the road for us to drive by so that they could cross in front of us. And it was just us and the ambulance, and we were maybe half a mile to a mile behind the ambulance, purposely, so that the ambulance had plenty of room.